So I'm going to talk to you now about the business case for emotional intelligence and why I think it's important, both from an organisational perspective in terms of developing it, so that you're creating a leadership climate or a climate of emotional intelligence, but also from an individual perspective and why, if you're looking at this and you're an individual, it's going to be really important for you to develop your emotional intelligence. So most organisations that I go into at the moment are everyone within those organisations, they're feeling that we're living in a fairly volatile world. So, you know, there's uncertainty, it's ambiguous, people are expected to do more and more, it's exciting, you know, there's a lot of excitement out there, there's a buzz out there, you know, there's a feeling of actually we can do more, but actually it's putting a lot of pressure on individuals. And you see that from an organisational perspective, those organisations that really focus on emotional intelligence have a far more engaged workforce. So there's some real evidence to support that the high-performing leaders within organisations and the success of an organisation is really based on their leadership team and their ability to drive and engage the talent, the people that they work with. 90% of leaders, research shows, that are successful and high performers within an organisation have high EI. So that's, you know, so if that's not a case in itself, then I'm not sure what is. I think another important factor is those people who have high EI can work with individuals and engage them. They're the ones that can take people on that journey. They create two things. They create a really inspiring environment to work in, but also a very inclusive environment. And when you look at what a leadership climate is, and we'll come on to talk about that in a minute, actually a leadership climate that is emotionally intelligent has those two areas. And what we mean by inspiring is that, you know, they create a really good vision, they know where they want to get to, they're excited by it, and they communicate that in a really inclusive way, so they involve people in that process. So in terms of, I mean, from an organisational perspective, I mentioned engagement. You know, I'm seeing more and more different organisations are struggling. You know, at the moment we've got nearly five different generations in the workplace, and all with different values and beliefs and attitudes, and, you know, trying to combine all of those different and engage people at all different levels. What people want are different things. Now, emotionally intelligent organisations are saying, okay, we're going to focus, we're really going to listen to the people that are coming into the workplace, and we're going to say, we're going to ask them what they think, and actually we're going to listen to them because we're going to respect their perspective. Those organisations that are doing that and do respect the perspective of those people will adapt and make changes to those people. So, for example, what you're seeing is you've got reverse mentoring programs currently taking place where actually younger people are mentoring older people rather than it just being about that hierarchy of, you know, this is the leader, I must know better. So, you know, there's some brilliant examples of what emotionally intelligent organisations are doing. The second point is around, I guess, you as an individual. So what's the business case for you to be more emotionally intelligent? Most organisations develop frameworks and competencies around emotional intelligence. So within organisations, about 67% of competencies are EI linked. So if you just think, you know, that ability to influence others, to develop relationships, to lead and influence, to engage top talent, to handle conflict, you know, they are all competencies that are fairly kind of, generic across all businesses. So, and ultimately, aspirationally, you know, one of the most important factors, if you're sitting within a role and you're aspiring to something greater, you know, if you know that emotional intelligence is an important factor of that, why wouldn't you develop it? So, you know, for an individual, there is absolutely a business case to support that. So if you're sitting here and you're kind of in a manager role, or you're looking to develop your skill, or you're looking to be a leader yourself, the leaders that really engage people are the ones that can connect with people. They know where they want to go, they know how they're going to get there, they know who they are, as you know, they're really authentic, and they know what their values are and they know what's important, but they're also brilliant at being aware of themselves, but brilliant at being aware of others. Emotional intelligence is something that actually is developable. even if that's a word, but you can develop it. And it now looks, they say that 58%, I think, in terms of the research, shows that EI is greater than IQ. The other important factor for an individual, just to touch on, is the fact that actually high performers will feel, if you think about it from a feelings perspective, will feel engaged, vibrant, they'll be in their zone, they'll be doing really well. Those people that start to move into kind of that stretch zone, which you often see high performance doing, suddenly then start to go into survival. So emotional resilience and the ability to be more resilient is absolutely crucial to that. But what can then happen is you can then move very quickly into burnout if you're not recognising what's going on for you emotionally and not have that self-regard. So actually you can say no, you can create boundaries, you can be really clear about what your expectations are and where you're driving results. Then ultimately, if you work on all of those areas, you'll be a high performer, and you'll be sustainably a high performer. So just to recap on the points that I've just spoken about and wrap up, the importance from an organisational perspective of focusing on EI is that there is so much evidence to support the fact that actually high-performing leaders are emotionally intelligent. So 90% of leaders are emotionally intelligent, so what other reason would you not want to develop emotional intelligence and create that climate of leadership? I think from an individual perspective, why is it important for that business case for individuals to focus on their emotional intelligence? So that connection with other people, that ability to empathise, the ability to really respect, to handle conflict and see conflict as a really healthy way of kind of being able to move through issues and difficulties and just being human, actually. So it's kind of about actually just be human in this. Let's just have a conversation. So focus on it and develop it. And I would say in order to sustain your own performance, it's really important.